Are you looking to change the world, lead the future of pharmacy, lead your family, your patients, your colleagues? The way to do that is so simple. To lead others, you must first lead yourself. But the only way to do that is to first understand yourself. That's what this week's podcast is all about. How to become the ultimate leader of your life by understanding what makes you tick. My name is Dr. Adam Martin, host of the Fit Pharmacist Healthcare Podcast. You're definitely going to want to grab a pen and paper for this one, Fit Pharm fam. So get ready, because you're about to have a breakthrough.
I see my victory so clear. I see my victory so clear. It's a breakthrough.
We're in an 8-part podcast series sharing 8 antidotes against PharmD failure, because as we all know, pharmacy continues to face some serious challenges with more and more pharmacists tapping out and leaving the profession. So when I started seeing this happen more and more, I made a decision. I realized that I'm approaching 10 years as working as a full-time pharmacist in the community setting. Yeah, I know, I'm one of them crazy people that actually loves it. I mean, you have to for doing it that long. And I noticed, reflecting back, both on my career and all of the amazing pharmacists that I've interviewed on my podcast through the years, that when you boil it down, there's 8 key traits among pharmacists who thrive in their career long-term that tend to also be traits missing by those pharmacists who struggle the most. Let's face it real quick. I mean, can I drop a dose of real talk on you? We all have days, maybe every day, when our head feels like it's going to literally explode because we have all the thoughts and all the feels, and they're all crashing into each other like bumper cars. I know, I can't see you, but I know you're nodding right now, maybe smiling and smirking to yourself. I see you. No, I'm not reading your mind. It's just that common. So the 4th antidote in this series, it sounds so simple, it's easy to discount it as not important, and actually doing the work to master it is not a quick fix. It's an ever-evolving process that's honestly one of the most humbling things you can do. Understand yourself. Now, there's lots of ways to go about this. You can get into therapy, you can go to seminars, you can hire a coach. But I think one of the most revealing ways is also the most inexpensive because it's free, and the most convenient and versatile because you can literally do this anytime, anywhere. And the thing I'm talking about is writing. As pharmacists, we're limited in our resources, we're limited in our time. That's what you hear a lot. But I'm going to break this down for you super simple. I'm going to speak our language because as pharmacists, we love to count by 5s. I mean, is there any other way to count? I don't know of any other one. Maybe you guys do, but for me, it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30, and then the 90-day supplies and so forth. I digress. Now, here's your 5-step dose to make it your reality. Number 1, you need to pick your type. And what I mean is, what type of writing are you gonna do? This can be daily thoughts, just taking paper to pen and setting a 10-minute timer and letting it flow. You can do prompt journaling, meaning you have some prompts or questions. Like, for example, name something that you're grateful for today. Name something, describe something that you're looking forward to in the next week. What was the biggest takeaway that you've had this year? I know that sounds overly simplistic, but there's some like magical transformation that happens, and I'm going to share the science behind that in a bit. Now, you can do all kinds of types of writing, but if this is new to you, rather than just like a random writing here and there, I highly recommend that you start with a guide of some sort to get you started and on track, so that you don't say like, oh, what am I going to write about? And then that's another question that gets you off of making this a reality. Number 2, this is so important, especially because we feel like we don't have time. Second step is schedule a time. Here's why this is important. If you talk about what you want to do, it's a dream. If you envision it, it's possible. But when you schedule it, it's real. The most important part of writing for a busy pharmacist, yeah, that's you, is to set aside time to actually make it happen. And you might be saying, but Adam, my schedule changes. I don't know. My friends like to write in the morning. I'm not a morning person. The best time is when your mind is most active. And that's different for everybody. It can be first thing in the day, middle of the day, end of the day. But that's what's key. So it might be in the morning for you, after you've had your first cup of coffee. Not before, because as I've said for years, no coffee, no worky. It's just that simple. So for some people though, the end of the day might be more productive because the day's done and you can pause and reflect on what you've experienced since you've woken up. Now, for me, I started my journaling just in the morning, but now since I've been doing this for years, I do both. I bookend my day writing books pretty much. So for what I do, what's worked for me, and maybe it'll help you, is first thing in the morning, after I get my caffeine going, I made it a ritual. So I set my intention for the day first thing, and I start my writing and my thoughts there. Then at the end of the day, I document 3 specific things that I either experienced or witnessed in the last 24 hours, so really specific time frame, that I would classify as magic moments. And literally, it's 3 things that are either interactions or opportunities that I saw God's hand in or the Holy Spirit was a-working. Third step, pick your tool, because there's lots of ways to write. And whether you type on your smartphone or go old school pen and paper, what matters most is that you'll be consistent with what type of writing you choose. With that being said though, I'm gonna actually say that writing pen and paper is going to win in this, because there's honestly something magical about putting pen to paper, because you type with your thumb all day. So this makes it a little bit special. Kind of like you get texts and emails from people you love and care about all the time. But when you get a handwritten note in the mail, that's another dose of magic. That's special. That's exactly the feeling and experience this will create, and you'll get to experience it every day. So I highly recommend giving pen and paper a try for at least the first few weeks of trying this. And here's the science behind it that I alluded to earlier. When you write by hand, it actually stimulates your brain's reticular activating system, meaning that whatever you're thinking about at that moment, that pharmacist brain that's going all cray-cray, when you are focused, you are bringing what you're thinking about to the forefront of your mind, helping you to focus on it. This, when you get this focus, that gives you clarity from your never-ending pharmacist thoughts. And when you get that clarity creates power. 4th step, and this is really important because this will help you get the most out of the time that you're putting into it, even if it's 5 or 10 minutes. Number 4 is you have to set the mood. Writing in a noisy place with lots of foot traffic may work for some people, and I honestly don't know how, because for the majority, including myself, it's just putting yourself in another place of distraction for your mind to wander away from the task at hand. The best way that you're going to get the most out of writing is to script your environment for success. So here's some simple tips. These might sound common sense, but you'd be amazed at how many people don't do them, or they just don't think of them because they're so common. They're just our daily life. Make sure, and this is something most people miss, but this is so important. Make sure that you've got a comfortable temperature for yourself. So if it's cold, put on a sweater. If it's hot, get down to the shorts, whatever that might be. Control your thermostat if you can. If you can't, have a blanket handy. Turn off all the electronics, the TV, the computer, and here's something that I did that really changed the game for me. I put my phone on airplane mode, but then I put it in the other room and then I plug it in and charge it. Because if it's off and in the room, it's kind of like there, and it's like you see it and you're like wondering whatever. But if you put it out of the room, out of sight, out of mind, and it's charging, so you're getting a double bonus. Find a quiet space where you can be alone with your thoughts. Now, if you're a family person and you've got the kids and all the cray-cray, a simple fix is get up early before everybody else. This is an investment for yourself. You can make it your morning power hour, or your 10 minutes to thrive if you're really pressed for time. Fifth and final thing, it's so important, stick with it. Commit to a rolling 30-day streak of writing every day with intention. Now remember, writing, this whole habit that we're talking about of understanding yourself better, does not have to be lengthy. I'm not talking about like writing a book in a month. I'm talking about committing yourself to intentional writing time every day. Focused, 10, 20 minutes a day would be a great start. And maybe that's all you stick to, and that's totally fine. The trick is consistency, because as I've said ad nauseam, and I'll continue to do, consistency trumps intensity every single day of the week. That's how results are made. It's not in the grandiose things, it's in the small things you do over and over. That's what gets the results. So a simple way to hack this into a habit is a really cool technique called habit stacking, where instead of like trying to create this new habit out of thin air, you take what you already have working for you and build off of that. So let's say you're gonna do this in the morning because you have that caffeine in the morning and it's like magic. It's like, bloop, 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 bloop. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, yes. So why not make that even more magical? So if your morning habit is you get up, brush your teeth, make your coffee, get your coffee, what if you made it get up, brush your teeth, make your coffee, get your coffee, then go to your comfy chair with your blanket and set your timer to write for 10 minutes. Now, when you get the coffee that you're already used to doing, that already established habit is going to serve you as a trigger to get to writing. Super simple. You just have to be intentional about it. Then after a while, it becomes a habit. It's one of the simplest techniques to make a habit stick easily. So with that being said, there you have it. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to write. You just need to realize that what you write, you invite. Words carry incredible power, and the practice of creating words on paper can be therapeutic, empowering, clarifying, and even transformative. You've mastered writing to-do lists. You're the super pharmacist. Y'all know this. Yes, you are. I know it. You don't have to tell anyone. I see you. I know it. You're already good at writing all the tasks. Now take the skill you already have of writing and use what you already have in a way that calms your mind rather than leaving it feeling rattled. Doing this simple practice of writing with intention is one of the most effective ways to truly understand yourself. And once you do that, it's the most powerful place you can be to pivot into the results that you desire and deserve for your pharmacy practice and quality of life. So go forth, be great, grab a pen, and dispense your full potential. God bless.